So this week in Vayakel, we learn about the many things that are going on inside the Mishkan, what's being built in the tabernacle, and one of the things, what could perhaps be translated in English as the militant mirrors. What are the militant mirrors? The marot tzovot. So we're told that the basin, the sort of sink that the Kohenites would be using to purify themselves, to wash their hands and feet, would have these mirrors around it. And one of these mirrors, Rashi tells us there's this midrash, this story, that all the Israelites came to give everything, gold, silver, you name it. And the women, the women come and they're giving their mirrors that they use to preen themselves. And Moses, Moses doesn't like the idea. He says to God, I don't want these mirrors. It's these things that they use to, it's very materialistic and not nice. And God then puts Moses in his place and says, no. I love those mirrors more than anything else. Why? And why they called militant mirrors. This is such a beautiful Rashi. Because he says that when we were in Egypt and the men were out and being slaved and were very tired and came home, what would the women do? The women would preen themselves in front of the mirror, and then they would bring the men next to the mirror and they'd start having cute small talk, who looks more beautiful, who looks nicer, and they try and try and seduce the males, and then ultimately what happens, and then God says, thanks to those women and thanks to the mirrors, we had legions. I had an army of Israelites in Egypt, and thus we were able to take many out. So they're called the Marot Tzovot, the militant mirrors, because an army of Israelites were created through them, and God said, I love this more than anything. These being a symbol of, the strong relationship between husband and wife, and this, of course, is connected between the water that was used to purify the sota, which is the exact opposite. Thoughts on the Torah portion of Vayakel. Shabbat Shalom.